Good morning guys, Coco and I are on another trip to the farm. This is the Great Farm Cleanup episode. Look at the title because I don't remember. I won't take up too much time on this trip. It's the standard 4-hour drive with a few toilet stops and a bit of coffee. We'll be there soon. I will try and film a little bit of this road because Cynthia asked, or she's hoping to see a kangaroo at some stage. So we don't see too many. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, so usually they're about earlier. We might see one resting on the side of the road. Who knows? Let's have a bit of a look while we're driving. There's only certain parts of the road that you usually see kangaroos, and it's through forested areas. Some parts of the state are more, well, the country for that matter, they're much more common than others. This section of the road is probably one of the worst I drive through, but you know, you don't usually see them, and you don't kind of want to see them because they often jump out very unexpectedly and land right in front of your car, and they can do a lot of damage. Some of them are very large and extremely heavy, and they can ride off a car. A lot of people of course end up in the trees trying to avoid them, and the general rule is never swerve for an animal. Sure, you don't want to kill them, but you'd rather, I think that'd be a better option than you end up upside down in the car against a tree, and you know, you might be a little bit worse off. So if you keep the car straight and brake, and if you hit them, so be it. It's going to damage the car a bit, but you're going to be safe. Anyway, we don't really want to see them, but in the interest of you guys watching, yeah, hopefully one hops out a little bit away from the van. There's a dead one on the side of the road. So they are around here, and I have seen a few on this stretch. It kind of depends on the season too. If it's the middle of summer and all the bush is very dry and there's no green grass for them, you often get a bit of grass along the edge of the roads that's green just from a little bit of runoff, and they will gather around the roads or the roadsides in those conditions. But we've had a pretty wet spring, so there's no shortage of feed for them out in the bush. Well, we made it here okay. I'm in the shed. I've actually started sorting some more scrap. I'm not going to do another scrap run for a while, but I still need to sort out the stuff here. It's a pretty warm day, but the trip was good. We didn't hit any kangaroos. I did take quite a lot of footage, but I don't think a lot of it turned out. It was just too bumpy in the van, so I hope you guys didn't get car sick. And we've been over to see Dad in the aged care home, which isn't far from here, and he's going okay. He's struggling a bit, and he's been in a lot of pain still, so they've given him a bit of morphine today actually, which helped a lot. So we're trying to keep him comfortable, but you know, we still had a good chat, and he's going as well as can be expected. Mum said again to pass on her thanks for all your well wishes. We've got a few things to do this trip. We have to take Mum's car in to get a service tomorrow, so that's going to take a few hours out of the day. I'm going to try and do some more work in the shed here. It is supposed to rain, so I don't know how we're going to go there, but as you saw on the trip over, it's warming up and the countryside's drying off a fair bit, so a little bit of rain won't hurt. The farmers around here would like probably a bit more rain to finish off their crops. So yeah, so that's what we're up to today. I'm just going to do some more cleaning here, packing stuff in drums, you know, all the normal stuff I've been doing. We'll go through a few containers over that side of the shed and just see if we can find any treasures. And I'll keep sorting. So I'll give you a look whenever there's something interesting to see. Coco's waiting to get out and have a run around the yard. The chooks are still out, and she can't go around the main yard while the chooks are out. Otherwise, all hell will break loose. Where are the chooks, Coco? Do you want to chase the chooks? You want to chase them, don't you? I thought I'd like to try and get this corner of the shed organised this trip, and maybe along this wall. There's a lot of just random stuff in containers. Once again, I've just been dragging some scrap out from under the bench. Just lots of old farming bits and pieces. These are all universal joints off machinery and things that would have been handy if you're keeping old machinery going, but those days are now consigned to history. There's a lot of dirt in here. I think it's probably from an ant's nest at one stage. So I'm actually finding stuff buried in the dirt. But again, just lots of machinery, universal joint fittings, bits of pipe, You've guessed it, plumbing fittings, although I don't think there's much brass over here. So I'm not sure if we'll find anything interesting in there or not. There is some machinery chain in there which sells very well. So we'll drag that out shortly. I was also going to have a look in some of these containers up here. I think we looked in this one last time. Yes, there's a saucepan lid in that one. Don't know what's underneath. What's in this one up the top here? I haven't looked in this. And it's pretty heavy. Oh, it's difficult to do with my right shoulder. Yeah, just random hardware, nuts and bolts. Nothing out of the ordinary there. That's a guide from a chainsaw file. Yep, so nothing very interesting there. Let's have a look in these tins. Don't really even know what that is. Let's tip it out and have a look. Ah, look, a piece of copper pipe. Plumbing fitting, brass, copper pipe. Some old oil seals that won't be any good. Oh, that's a little spirit level, a string line level. So you hang that on your string. On a building site, if you have a taut piece of string and you can line it up along, I don't know, whatever you're building and hang the level off it. So, yeah, that's not rubbish. It's at least going to be $1 at the shop. Have some chain. Not sure what sort of chain that is. And looks like a little foot valve. Yeah, that's a very fine chain. I don't know what that chain's off. Some valves out of an engine. Exhaust valve, inlet valve out of a small engine. Maybe, geez, they're tiny, maybe motorbike. Maybe that's a timing chain. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think it's any good now. There's another tin over this side. It's heavy. It's going to be just bolts and things. Rivets, I think. Large rivets. And we have old screws. That looks like a muzzle from a dog. I don't remember us ever having a dog here that needed a muzzle. Just some nails or screws in there. More hardware. That's an ignition switch of something. And in this one we have a little padlock. Oh, I can't quite see in here. Yeah, just random stuff. There's a couple up the top I thought I might try and get down. That one feels very light. It's mostly empty. It is. And this one has a lid on it and it's totally empty. So they can go in the recycling. There's another tin up the top here. And that just has some nails, second-hand nails. Right up the top, looks like we have an old headlight off a car. And there's a hacksaw frame. Not much else very interesting up there. What's this? Hopefully there's no spiders in here. That's a gauge, a speedo. I don't know what that's off. Oh, it's a tacho, revs per minute. Might have been off one of the tractors. Don't know if it goes. And that's actually a large socket, a huge socket. I don't know what that fits. Maybe some machinery. All right, so as you can see, it's more random stuff. There's some old spanners on the wall here. Some very old spanners. These would be implement spanners. These would date back to my grandfather's farming days. Probably international or something, or H254, could be an international harvester, plough spanner, something like that. The other one looks much the same. It's probably got a similar code on it. H254, was that the same code? I think it was. So they'll sell quite well. This looks like one of those multi-adjustable spanners. I can't read the brand on it. I don't have my glasses with me. But that's probably going to sell too. It may only be in the dollar box. I'll have to check out what brand it is. The implement spanners should sell quite well. They'd be at least $10 each. What's this one? Sig Chrome one, I think. But the large open enders don't bring much. And that's possibly a Snail brand. I think it is. English spanner. This one's a very early press spanner. You know, I once found a spanner much the same as this one in a box from a clearing sale, and it was pretty much as rusty, and I cleaned it up and it turned out it said J. Furphy. And if anyone in Australia is familiar with Furphy stuff, very collectible. It was made in Shepparton. I can't read that, implement spanner of some sort. And I sold it on eBay for about $800. So if you can picture a rusty spanner much the same as that, and it wasn't until I cleaned it up that I could read Furphy, and I sold it on eBay. I think I started at $50 and it went for $800. So yeah, unbranded that one, but that'll still sell okay. There's an early spanner set here. These are rather cool. They just sort of swivel out and you have different sizes. It's probably worth cleaning up. It'd be interesting to see what brand it is, possibly English. And this one here is an English spanner. What's it say? Lister. It could well be a separator spanner, that one. Lister's made, oh, we're focused. There we go. Lister made milk separators, so that one will sell quite well. All right, I'll keep getting the stuff off here, and we'll try and clean up this area as quick as we can. So the top shelves are now cleaned off, and I've found a few interesting bits. I found these old pipe cutters. They're a little rusty from sitting up there for a long time, but they would probably... Oh, that one looks like it's got a chip to the cutting blade. Yeah, it has got a bit broken out. But they would probably be fixable. I think you'd probably buy new wheels for them. I don't know what brand they are. But they're going to sell for sure. Probably maybe, I don't know, $20 each, rough guess. The old light is interesting. It's got a big brass mounting bracket. And it's quite an early light. It could be off a truck. Honestly, not too sure what that's off. Looks like it says Toshiba. I didn't know they made headlights. So, yeah, nice old piece. I would imagine that's going to be at least $20 or $30 in the shop. Just a bit of a quick cleanup. So there's going to be a bit of value amongst here. This is the little cap off the top of the exhaust of the tractor. It probably suits the main tractor in the shed, so I better go and see if it needs to go with that. I've been having the radio on out here, and it's an old, well, it's vintage AWA flip clock. I think that's what they call them, with the numbers that flick over. Very, very dusty. It does still work. I'll turn it on. But it's got a bit of a hum, and it's got a very crackly volume control. Oh, it's not bad now. It's behaving itself. It was very crackly before. I might take that back and clean it up. These things are quite collectible these days. Is it the timber? Yeah, it's the wood grain type look. So probably 1970s. And yeah, they're quite collectible. Not sure about AWA brand. I think the Copal ones bring the best money. But yeah, that's worth restoring down the track. So there we go. Coco's getting a bit annoyed at not being able to get out and not being able to join me in the shed. So we might wind this video up here. So I'll finish up now. I'll go in the house yard with Coco so that she's not so alone. And we'll start on a few jobs that Mum's given me to do. Just little jobs, so we'll address them in the next video. It's all part of the great farm cleanup. It's helping Mum cope with things that Dad used to do. She's gone to see him again today. We did get a bit of rain overnight, and it's much, much cooler. So I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.